Hi guys, I'm here with Helix, Bobby, and it's me, Blankshard. We are here for the semifinals match against SJSU Gold versus Kansas State Varsity.
Yeah, we're jumping into the middle of an ongoing match here. SJSU has taken map 1. We'll be jumping into map 2 in just a moment here.
Yeah, we're going to be starting off with Split here. So SJSU actually was gone all A1 of this tournament. We're going to see how they change. They took out ISU Varsity round 1 of this final playoff bracket. So we'll see how things go. Choosing to adopt kind of a Viper, a double controller comp on the side of SJSU. So we'll see how that goes out. It's pretty traditional comp. If you watch people like Sentinels, they often implement a heavy controller, double controllers comp because it gives them a lot more map control. And it seems like Kansas wants to go for a single controller comp with a double initiator, which gives them a lot more pressure on this second half.
Yeah, this match is a comp we've seen out of Kansas before. They like this breach gecko comp.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out this round 1. Now it looks like SJSU, it's going to be heavily stacking towards this A side of the map, maybe setting up a trap play. It's kind of working out perfectly for them. Kansas also sending a lot of pressure towards that A side of the map.
Yeah, Kansas is actually pretty split here. They've got, looks like they're playing for mid control here to begin with, and then we'll rotate from there.
Yeah, it's just they're sending so much pressure on the side of SJSU. Now they realizing sending that sky back over, but we'll see how things play out. Got a default setup. Viper Orb's going to be going up default, taking this mid space. Not finding anything yet. It's just holding their positions. SJSU predicting this A push.
Smoke will go up vents, give them some space to work with, pushing up mid here.
Slowly creeping up that B main. Sky is going to be alone here on the site. We'll see how things play out. Oko needs to find something if they want to stay. Sees the raise. This is going to be calling a lot of rotates.
Quick fights. Male fight is won by SJSU.
They're going to keep forcing this, but that Molly's going to stop that push. Kansas just getting back a little bit, playing their time. They understand they have a little bit under a minute.
They've gained a gap through a heaven. They're going to take a cross here. The Cypher does see this on the cam. It's just waiting for them.
Yeah, I think they realized so much pressure has been shown on this B side of the map. They need to start pushing, but only 30 seconds left on that clock. SJSU needs to just hold their positions. Kansas needs to make a move.
Yep. They're popping now. Quick A flip.
Greg is the only one towards his side of the map. Now everyone is rotating though.
They get the bomb plant down for Heaven, but they've given up Heaven control. Ethan will pick Kim in the vents fight and just flood through CT into screens. Trades.
And PPR is going to be able to find 3 now in the 1v3. 2 goes down. PPR keeping his team's hope alive, getting a 4K.
Free gun, by the way.
That's a win in the bag. Let's grab some more.
Yeah, a big hold there out in the backside by PPR. Gets 3 towards elbow and then elbow screens area, and then turns around. Gets the last one towards the mid site.
Yeah, that play in general just kept his team in this round one after another. They peaked one by one and just lined up. He's clicking the aim labs orbs on the enemy players. You can just see he cleans out the round with Oko.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, now that, again, having this trap play towards this A side of the map. Gonna be tagging Zaya. The execute is out though. They're on site. The SJSU is known for their anti-eco rounds, but it's not going to be finding much value right now. Only one member left on the side of SJSU. Wants to find at least one more kill. So many players are low. But Kim is not going to allow that to happen. Round goes to Kansas.
Yeah, good site flood. They know what to expect from SJSU. They got the race posted on the long angle. Somebody phases the smoke out of heaven, and they're just immediately prepared for it.
Yeah, they don't want to throw away that anti-eco round, especially when they're versing a team like this. Last game they played, they almost beat every single eco round, anti-eco on the side of ISU Varsity. So Kansas is already getting that early momentum they need to put them in good position for this match.
It also looks like Kansas State was expecting a force buy or something. They didn't bring any rifles into it. 3 Spectres across, but no rifles.
We'll see how things go out. Going towards A side of the map again. Execute is out. Race has this full sight now. SJSU trying to play full retake. That bomb's going to go down, though. Canceled by the nade.
It comes back out again as they have a 3-man push towards a ramp.
They understand they need to take some space. They have to find something. They can't play full 5 rifle flood. Oko's going to be able to find PRs. Kim's going to be able to trade out a 1 member, though. And Corner is going to be able to find 1. Tapping the bomb, not on. Corner needs to clear this. Now, just 1 player left on the side of KSU. He's going to be able to find 1, but that bomb is going to be defused.
Yeah, it's tucked all the way in the corner. Not a lot you can do.
It goes down to Oko. Even with that, though, that's a huge amount of value KSU found, even with that eco.
Yeah, big damage. They're 3 rifles down.
But we're going to see ults coming up on both sides. We have that Sky ult on SJSU, but that Gecko ult's going to allow a lot of entry potential. We'll see how things play out. Yeah, on this retake, they just kind of overwhelmed them with that gunpowder, but even with that, they almost kind of won this round. Danny B keep cleaning up for his team.
Yeah, I don't think Scoots quite understood that the bomb had been moved to be planted elbow instead of towards heaven when he went for that deep rotate.
See how things go out. Going back towards this mid side of the map. They're trying to think about what worked the first round. And Split is such a impactful map with that mid section. It controls so much pressure through both of the A and B main, and it costs us a lot of rotates. So we'll see how things play out when they take this. Gecko is out. It's not going to be finding anyone. Vents goes down.
It is stopped in the middle. It is retrievable.
They're just taking this space kind of free.
Yeah, SJSU has been very willing to let Kansas State have space wherever they want on the map. Just letting them push through these lanes.
We'll see if Kim gets caught out, and she is, but it's going to be immediately traded out by PPR. They understand that this might be the time to go. Skyhold is out. It's going to be finding 2 members.
Quick peek from Ethan onto Zaya.
I know exactly where.
30 seconds.
Rash comes back out. We'll catch the Viper back pillar.
Oko's going to deny the early entry, but Viper's going to be out of that stun here. Now 2 people backside, and is going to be able to find the flick.
Yeah, really great coverage from SJSU. They know that they have 1 detained on site, so they expect the push. They just cover all the angles that Kansas State can come in through.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ethan
Inside joke.
was keeping that side kind of on hold by himself. Finding 3 people allows them to really play that retake a lot easier.
Yeah, that quick aggression there out of B main from Danny B getting them that opening pick was also really big.
Yeah, taking down that single controller really makes it so much harder to find any entry potential. See things change this round. Onto the eco. Default orb is up, and this is going to be a fast push towards this ramp. 3 members of KSU going fast.
I'm just going to wait patiently here behind the Viper wall.
This is the power of Viper and Cypher, especially on this A side of the map. It just provides so much slow.
Yeah, there's so much delay.
There comes the volley. Viper.
Spike down.
Greg is going to be able to find PPR.
Oh, just caught in the aftershock.
And the paranoia.
That paranoia is great onto all 3 players' ramp.
Yeah, Oko is not able to keep that spray control on point. Now it's the tides have kind of switched into the side of KSU, but 2 members are going to go down, even out the playing field. We have Showstopper up, and Ethan is going to be able to find 1 more now. Kim alone here is going to be taken out. Kind of single-handedly carried by Raze and Omen this round, finding 4 members back to back to back to back.
Yeah, Danny B is just able to walk across so much of this map. He's taking so much space. Like he hears that the call that there's 3 up, 4 up towards heaven, so he just immediately starts walking out of B or walking out of mid and ends up all the way behind them just as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, at the starting point, this round almost seemed like it was going in the favor of KSU, and then it just switched tides so fast after Venny and Danny B just found so much value back to back. Going into this next round, we'll see how they change things up. Wanted to do a heavy B main push. Omen one way is out. It's going to be slowing that push a little bit. Sky Dog trying to find any info. It's going to be a finding 3 though.
Yeah, that's big. Gives Ethan so much intel to push off of. He'll get one and he'll immediately run away.
Yeah, that value is already creating such a hard point for them to push. Now down that controller once again.
And Ethan has the Raze rocket to recommit to here if they need to.
Showstopper having so much power. We'll see how they kind of try to recontest this mid area. KSU wants to keep this, but SJSU realizes they can't just give it up. Having 3 towards this mid side of the map, Viper holding that under vent. See how things go.
Just gonna slow it down a little bit here. Still got 2 probing towards mid, and the other 2 have started to push back around to this B main area.
About 35 seconds on the clock left. Flash is going to be coming out for info. It's going to be
Flash to
spotted.
the orb catches a Raze.
30 seconds left.
PPR is just stuck here now. He knows that the vent players have moved back in to cover him.
There's only so little time left. 20 seconds on the clock. It might have to be forced save by KSU. They want to find some values. They're going to be able to find Oko. And another 14 seconds on the clock, but there's no time to go get that bomb down. They have to
They
save.
have to save.
Heartbreaking round for them to lose, especially when they find those 2 huge picks. Not having that bomb is going to just throw away their chances. And the timing on PPR. Ethan finding another pick, hurting their eco even more.
Yeah, that's super rough from Kansas State. PBR gets fed 2 kills and they can almost start looking back at sight, but they're just a couple seconds short of being able to get an execute in.
Yeah, going into this mid push, it just kind of seemed like they really didn't have much of a plan. Just kind of were just shift walking up without using much util to clear any angles, and they got punished by that. And SJSU picked up very fast, and this last kill just timing. But going into this next round, they're going to be have that Astral trying to go towards this A side of the map, preferably. Got so much value onto that site, but kind of split up, more of a defaulty setup, trying to just find some value. Gonna be spawning Danny B. Scoots. Trying to get some pressure. Still have a lot of time on the clock, just wants to find something. And KSU is going to be spammed, taking down so much health, and going to have the awareness there going down. I think Ethan might have spotted that.
He spotted a gun barrel or an elbow or something.
Yeah, I think he spotted them going into that corner. But they're grouping up towards this B side of the map. I think they're going to be executing here. They have this Astra ult. Flashes out.
Caught in mid-fight. And a beautiful flash.
1 enemy remaining.
Danny B cleaning house. Now it's just corner. 1v4. Seems like they want to go for it. I almost think they have to save once again.
30 seconds left.
It's going to, regardless, put through the smoke and get punished. Now, going to this next round, KSU has 4 ultimates on the board. They need to use something here.
Yeah, it feels like they've been just too scared to use a couple of the ones that they've had. They did just get a couple charged up in that last round.
Wow, that box push on the ramp, spray on ramp, they must have heard her or something. That is just so unlucky for Zaya. Going to this next round, though. It looks like they finally want to execute towards this A side of the map, and they're kind of reading SJSU. No one really playing on this site, and I think they probably want to play retake here. Slowly creeping up, and SJSU is getting so much info on this mid.
So much mid space. Thrash will come out through A main, and that'll signal that there's an execute coming in.
They need to go fast, though. SJSU taking up so much space, completely containing the team.
Yeah, Kansas State has no ramp control. Quick rocket out from Ethan. Greg J to double up with him.
PPR finds one, but the hopes are looking grim. Only a few health points on the board. Tanny B's going to be able to find 5 health. Now he's trying to, in the 1v3, he's not going to be able to find anything. Oko closing out the round, bringing it to 6-2. And so far, this is a very dominant half for SJSU. Although, Split is a very defense side of the map, so we'll see how things play out. Still choosing only to use one of their ultimates. I don't know why Kansas State is kind of restricting their own ultimate usage. They're missing a lot of value here.
Yeah, and that push into A site was just so one-dimensional. They all flooded in through main. They didn't take any ramp control. They had nobody covering it, so they're just stuck in this one lane.
Yeah.
It gave SJSU so much space to re-aggress back into the site on a retake.
When you have things like a Gecko ultimate and the Breach ultimate and the Astral Wall, you just have so much value that they're missing out on, especially on these pushes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you're going to push that lane, you should throw that Astral Wall for ramp or something. Just divide the map up. Give yourselves a little bit more space to work with.
Exactly. I think they're finally realizing that, taking up a little bit more space, but Zay is going to be taken down, and Greg's finding 2. Scoot's going down. Now 3 members left on the side of KSU. It's going to be spammed through the smoke.
Scrap Require is doing so much work.
And the spray 1-2. Viper finding the last 2 members of KSU, closing out the round.
Looks like there was a slight misplay at the start of that round. You could see the Rays of Zio was concussed as they blast backed up into heaven.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know if they hit a trap wire or if they just clipped the edge of the breach concussed. That's super unfortunate because that's an easy fight for a blast backing Rays to win if you're not concussed.
Yeah, definitely. Again, still having 4 ultimates on the board. Kansas State needs to do something with that.
Yeah, 3 rounds left. You've got to start committing these ults. You can't take them into the next half.
The Viper ult is going to deny all that mid space. Such huge value for SJSU.
They don't have any util to clear out of Viper Pit either.
Yeah, only having that Gecko flash in the Cypher Cam.
Yeah, you can throw Wingman in and hope, I guess.
That's
but
just such a little information gathering on their team comp.
Ethan's vaulted the trip.
Oh, this is going to get so much value, and they're going to be able to find the Cypher. So unaware. Corner.
He
Just gonna be
suspects
watching the
something. He does get the pick.
Execute is out onto this B side of the map. Going fast. Now the ultimates are out. Flashes are out as well. Zay's going to be able to find one now. He's going to keep trying to find another, but Danny's B is going to deny that hope. Finding 2 now in the 2v2. He's going to be able to find one more. Kansas State needs to win this round. Corner in the 1v1.
Rolled up his own site.
Here's the person, but not going to be able to find the kill. So close. Both players such a low health. Has that cam up. And it's going to be pulling the crosshair, but not going to be able to find the actual damage. 3 health.
He's pulled so much time though.
And he's going to be able to close out the round. Clutching it.
Beautiful play from Corner Ginger, just dancing around him on all of the angles that he needed to.
Being so aware of that raise push allowed them to stay into this round. And finally, Kansas used both the Breach ultimate and the Astro ultimate, allowing them to take that space finally.
Yeah, it's almost like ultimates win you rounds.
It's crazy concept, crazy concept. But yeah, the awareness here. He must have heard something or just...
Must have heard the jump land.
Maybe he must have. But this execute just so... Finally showing a little bit more cohesion in their team. That blind's still getting so much value, but
yeah,
luckily, Corner can finish it out.
It's unfortunate from Danny B. He just got crosshair stuck between 3 targets.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit any of them. They've gotten a lot of B main space here. They've got 2 pushing it. So this funneled Kansas State up mid. With Thrash, they've taken vents. But Vents is not a site. They still got to find a way to transition this into a site execute, and that's where they've had troubles so far. Is just getting. They've taken some space towards one of the 3 lanes of the map, and then they've just stalled out on an actual site hit.
I mean, like, look at SJSU right now. They have so much space on this beast main. Sky, it's going to be able to find one. Now Oko looking for a second.
And they have bomb down towards bottom mid, towards market.
It's just one player, Kim, here alone, is going to be paranoid, and Flash trying to stay alive. PPR is going to be able to find one, but nothing more. And the round closes out. Wow. Just, this is exactly what I mean. SJSU seems so aware of how to control this map space and really take advantage of Kansas's kind of linear play style, especially towards sticking to, as you said, one lane of the map. They're really giving up so much space, and Oko completely taking advantage of that, finding Scoots and corner.
Yeah, it just looked like Kansas State was not prepared at all for there to be 2 people pushed into B main on that.
Yeah, that heartbreaking round to lose, especially like that. Only 1 round left in this half. They need to find something. They're going to be on a bad bye too. See though.
4 players towards A main here, 2 towards a B main. They've opted to give up mid.
And honestly, I don't blame them. There hasn't been any contestation really this entire half, other than maybe 2 rounds. Ethan, shooting his teammate a little bit. Oko's going to be able to find one. Notice there's one more. He's going to be able to clean up, getting Scoots. This puts Kansas in such a hard position now in the 3v5. Got to take all this ramp space. Cam spotting the Gecko. It's going to be understanding. It's going to be calling rotates as well. Viper going up through this vent side of the map. Not through yet, though. All down. Will they hear the Astro in astral form, though?
I think they do. Yep, they clear him out in the corner.
Well, the race bot missed. He might be able to find some value, but Greg is going to be taking down corner. 2v5, this could be really hard.
Cypher ult comes out, is no chance.
Yeah, it's PPR with a sheriff in hand. Has to do the impossible. Is going to be Dane from behind. And Ethan closing out the round. And the half at 9-3.
Oh,
Switching sides.
absolutely dominant half out of SJSU. They seem to know just constantly where K-State was, more specifically where they weren't. They are always pushing back lanes wherever they could. They were taking so much map space towards B main, towards mid.
You could just see the aggression, especially with like Oko towards that B side of the map, just taking those fights to Kansas and understanding, I can win this. I can win that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's part of what the Sky gives you over a breach, is you have a lot more flexibility and a lot more intel gathering out of your flashbangs and out of the dog. You can just know more of what the map looks like than a breach can.
Yeah, and it's a lot more solo potential as well. Going into this next round, kind of adopted similar to what Kansas had, but more of a kind of split around all the map, trying to find some value here.
Yeah, 3-1-1 setup. They're focusing on this mid fight. Looks like they're trying to transition it into an A. They've got the Vipers lurked up super far on ramp.
And the power of Viper, especially on a map like Split, you just get so much map space denial without wall. So we'll see how Kansas responds. Still stacking heavy towards mid and B. PPR is going to be finding the Viper, jumping through the trip. Bomb is going to be going down on the B. All 4 members of SJSU.
Planted.
Corn is going to be able to find Danny. They need to push something. They understand they're down numbers. They have to find some value. But it is just a bloodbath right now. Greg in the 1v5. Going to be able to find one. Looking for another. One bullet in the chamber. Scoots going down. Bomb is going to be defused though. And he's not going to be able to find anything more.
Trusts his teammates. Just stick the defuse in the smoke.
This is a unique thing about SJSU against ISU Varsity. They didn't win a single pistol round, and it seems like they haven't won a single pistol round against Kansas either. But their recovery after their pistol round is just insane. They win almost every single rifle round and anti-eco. So we'll see how things convert this next round.
The very interesting play out of SJSU is that they as soon as the Viper dies, that's when they attempt the site flood. So I think they're kind of expecting the Viper potentially to pull some rotates, 'cause they've shown presence towards the A side of the map. They expect that to pull a couple of rotates, but it just doesn't work out for them. Kansas State doesn't bite on the bait.
It almost seems like a force. Well, Ray's having a classic here. Not going to be able to find any value except for a lot of damage with that Bucky now. So little health. PPR and Scoots are going to be finding 2 people. Scoot is so low. PPR finds Danny B.
Spike down
Now it's just
A.
2 members. They just want to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, playing that smoke fade, almost had an opportunity on a breach, but he'll dip down.
I don't think he's aware.
Yeah, it's a free kill there. Goes for the knife.
Gonna be able to get a gun now. So little health. Scoots is gonna be going down as well. Cypher rotating over. He understands. And Kansas also gonna be sending all their members. Cypher just kind of jumping between trips. Trying to bait out some presence. And all members of Kansas are now over towards this A side of the map in CT.
30 seconds left.
The problem with the Vents player going down there is that opens up the possibility that they could be slipping towards B, so they have to be cognizant of both sites here, so they have to just play very far back in CT where they can get the fast rotates out. Quick shots from Kim. Nice deagle work.
Yeah, Kim just closing out the round. Almost a very scary round for Kansas State to lose, but they recovered near the end. It's just the timing on that Viper play, just bringing up so much value for SJSU.
Should I play some stars in this?
Yeah, there's just... It's something we saw in attack and we're seeing again here on their defense half from K-State is they're just letting a lot of these SJSU players kind of slip the net, get into places that they're not expecting.
Yeah. We'll see how things go on to this next round, though. Sending a little bit of a... It seems like an A fake, but...
Quick A aggression out of Zaya. Will run into the trip and then immediately decapitates the Viper. Beautiful shot.
Good transfer, too, with that deagle. But SJSU taking up space towards B. Gonna be spotted by that Cypher cam. The spam coming out. Members Kansas are keeping a relatively good control. No one towards mid is going to be sending some members, though.
Flash to clear mid. Doesn't see anything. That will indicate that they're trying to push back in towards mid there. So Kansas State will rotate 2 up to vents. See the smoke come down. They don't really have any tools to push through that smoke right now.
Only a single flash in hand. It's going to be flashing. Not going to be spotting Kim, though. They're going to be clearing. Kim's just trying to find value. It's going to be able to find 2 members. Corner. Kim finding kills. Now in the 2v4. Greg and Danny trying to win this round. This would be a heartbreaking round for them to lose, too. It's going to be going down. Zaya's going to be able to find 1, and PPR closing out the round in a huge eco round for a bonus round for Kansas to win, honestly. Puts them in such a great position on this defense.
Yeah, those fights towards male just got super messy with the Cypher cages coming out, giving sound cues back and forth. Both sides know that there's 2 players playing near them. They just can't get good gunfights around those angles. I mean, Kim and Corner and Ginger clean up that first push, and that just stalls them out. Just stalls out SJSU super hard.
Yeah, just getting so much value from that. Flash going to be coming in and taking up so much space. Ethan wants to find a kill here. It's going to be forcing out the players.
Yes, they're taking this opportunity of an eco to do this super fast play up mid, and it's got them a ton of map control towards this mid vent area. But Kansas State doesn't seem to be phased by it. They know where the play needs to come from after that, so they've just set traps on the A site and rotating 2 towards B.
They're biding their time. They know they got the gun advantage, so they're going to be able to find 1, but Ethan is immediately going to be able to refrag. Kind of peeking overly aggressive there. It's going to be punished for that.
Yeah, and that, with the Cypher ult coming out, they know that there's only 1 towards A. They can immediately start a quick execute here. Corner Ginger will get a nice spray towards Danny B, who wanders back into the A main trip.
No more smokes on the side of SJSU, but they need to find a pick here. They need to keep their value up, but Corner's going to be denying that potential. Now 2 members left.
Blood out of heaven. They're stuck behind this A main smoke.
Ethan trying to find anything. They understand they're going to be sticking this bomb.
Stuck on the bomb.
That's
the ninja.
Is going down, and honestly, another clean round by Kansas.
Yeah, Corner Ginger's been a rock on this site. He's been able to hold it down. Just knows how to peek here to maximize his value, make sure that his presence is felt without giving them an opportunity to trade him, just by ducking in and out of that corner behind his cages, behind the smokes that are thrown towards him, and just playing off of that look, a little bit lucky kill of Danny B wandering into an A main trip or getting tagged by the camera, just reveals his presence towards A main.
SJSU going heavy towards his B side of the map, wants to execute faster, wants to keep the pressure on. He's going to be hit by that trip, but they're not going to be able to continue the value. Can find it too, though.
The double concuss, just chained from the Cypher concuss and then into the Astra Star. They are so just immobilized. They cannot do anything in that fight.
Yeah, and those Cypher trips getting such insane value. Honestly, SJSU needs to start investing their raised nade to start clearing that, because it is just destroying them on these sites.
Yeah, absolutely. Good fight from Greg J. Does pull it back a little bit, gives them some space to work with towards mid.
They're going to start this rotate. No members of Kansas are towards this A side of the map, but they understand that they just need to play their numbers. They can play retake.
Yeah, they will rotate one across after seeing the start of a rotate.
Scoot's going down, and it's alone on the site. Kim still so low. Potential for Greg now in the 1v2. Going to be coming back over, and only solo on the site. Not going to be able to find a refrag. Kim here's the player. It's going to be calling the rotate. Kim's going to be spotting him. 11 health. Kim needs to find something here. 13 seconds. Going to be pinged again. And Greg in such a hard position. Tapping the bomb. Going to be clearing that corner, but Kim is not going to allow him to find anything. Closing out the round. We're almost to a tied point now.
Yeah, I did not expect that. After the first half we saw, it seemed very, very dominant by SJSU. But K-State knows how to play the defense side on this map. They've just been not giving too many bad fights. They've been setting up to get really good trades, playing off their Cypher utility, playing off these Astra Stars and Astra Concusses. It's been a masterclass in how to use defensive utility here.
Yeah, exactly. See how things go out. Going heavy towards this mid side. It's going to be sending that dog up. It's going to be hit by that trip. They understand that piece of util is there now. Cypher's probably towards this mid side of the map.
Tripwire destroyed.
We'll clear the mid trip.
They just have this Viper holding this A main pressure. SJSU wants to play their time. They have the eco. They just want to see if they're going to get over aggressive. And it seems like exactly what Kansas is doing on this ramp, but they understand they need to play back. They have the better guns. They don't need to look for fights.
Yeah, and spotting one push towards ramp signals to SJSU that there's heavy A presence. That gives them an opportunity to try to swing something B.
The execute is out. The judge trying to find something. And Zaya is going to find that. Kim finding Greg. Now Ethan and
Last player standing.
Tony here alone. Now 1v4, but it's only going to find one. Closing out the round. Bringing it to a tied half.
Yeah, it's very... I mean, it's hard to judge off of these. A lot of these have been eco rounds, but it just doesn't look like the same SJSU team that we saw in the first half. They're not playing together as much. They're not taking as many good gunfights.
I agree. I think they're playing kind of what I complimented them last half, is being able to play by themselves and being able to support their own frags, but now that's punishing them, especially on this attacker side of the half. But they do have 4 ultimates on the board. Showstopper up. He's going to be tagging Scoots for a little bit.
Zaya's broken out this op, playing this angle towards B Heaven, towards Male. Quick early fight goes in the favor of Kim, pulling Greg J off. That'll give them a lot of space to work with across the map.
Basically, every member of SJSU is going to be pushing through this mail, though. But are they going to be aware of this op holding this
Right angle.
No, they aren't.
He just misses.
But so little health left on Zaya. PPR trying to find something here. Showstopper out. It's not going to be able to hit the satchel correctly. It's going to be looking for something, but not going to be able to find it. Scout's going to be coming out. It's going to be spotting 2 members. They're calling to execute towards this A site. Are they going to be aware of the Cypher?
They need this fast.
They aren't. Cypher holding this down corner. It's going to be able to find so much value.
Up and onto the screens from Ethan. Hit is down, so there's an opportunity to attempt a plant here.
Yeah, we'll see.
30 seconds left.
It's going to be able to find Zaya. Now in the 2v3. Needs to find something. Danny B in the main. They understand. There's someone on site still, but are they going to be aware of Scoots? Scoots pushing so close, and they are! Viper's going to be able to find him, but through the smoke. Kim finds one, and Danny B closes out the round. Such a close round for Kansas State to win, but chokes at the last minute. Finally, SJSU breaks the momentum that Kansas has had this defender half. We'll see how things play out now, but still having so many ultimates on the side of Kansas.
Yeah, finally it felt like SJSU were playing together. They took a good read. They saw that there was presence towards the B Heaven with that op, and they immediately just said, we're gonna rotate. We're gonna leave. If you got an op, you got the Rays committing in and through Heaven, we're gonna go to A site. And they did this fast A execute to work. Corner Ginger, he pulls it back a little bit, but they're just fully willing to commit through it.
PBR is going to be finding the timing on that Viper. 1 for 1 now, both teams. Showstopper coming out. Ray's pushing so aggressively. Ethan wants to find something. Not going to be clearing that.
1 enemy remaining.
And now it's just alone. Kim and Zaya controlling this side of the map, bringing it to 10-10. And that Ray's finding no value with the Showstopper.
So that's a messy clear, just not checking that Heaven corner.
Especially when you have Sky up, there's no reason not to just flash out. They're just not using their util, it feels like. They want to go so fast, and I feel like they need to take a step back. They had a little bit of momentum, and they're already losing it. Forced onto another eco here. It's going to be really rough. Most likely going to bring them to 11-10, but we'll see how things play out. Coming out from Oko.
Got a lot of mid space here. They're pushing 3 into this vent fight. They're not being subtle about it. They're going for vent. They'll get the aftershock out cleared. Pushes immediately behind it.
They find that
There's the
trip.
Dodges the concussed.
Greg is going to be
J.
finding a huge kill with that Gecko going down.
I'll give him a quick opportunity to throw the Cypher ult. Figure out where the rest of these defenders are.
And the execute on A is out, but Viper, such a good timing. They're going to be able to find this guy. Knife is out.
Nice, the Astra still in the backside. The execute's falling apart. The Zaya and Scoots get 1 apiece. Greg J will level it out.
1 enemy remaining.
And it's now a 1v2. The momentum is completely swung in the side of Kansas.
Yeah, Breach ult comes out to push him back.
But they're not on the bomb. Oh,
There they are. He's just sticking it. And throws...
Craig still finds 4, but the round is still going to the side of Kansas.
One of my cameras is broken.
Yeah, beautiful play out of Scoots there. Knows that he just has his teammate stick the bomb. He'll throw the Rolling Thunder to knock Greg J back out of back deeper into Heaven so that he cannot peek out to deny the defuse. And he'll be stunned so that he has no opportunity to get the peek. So,
Yeah.
it's a very good use of that ult, even if it seems like a bit of an overcommit in the 1v1. It secures you the round, it's what you need.
Yeah, the momentum of this round was kept swinging back and forth. It seemed like SJSU had such a foothold onto this site, but immediately crumbled on the retake. It's just like their site holds are just kind of near to nothing, it seems like.
Yeah, can't give enough props to Corner Ginger on these. He's anchoring these sites super well. He's keeping that A site always as a threat. Even you can't just assume an execute will make it through.
Yeah, he's finding value when there's basically even none there. I think SJSU really needs to start taking their time on these executes and start working more with their util they have.
Yeah.
They're using these ultimates, but it's not even finding much value. And now Kansas is in such a good position to close out this match. We're going to be on to another rifle round with SJSU, but there's still 3 ultimates on the side of Kansas, so they're going to have so much retake potential.
Yeah, playing a rifle round for match point is a rough spot to be in, because if they lose this round, they're going to be on a very rough force to try to play match point.
Yeah, they need to find this round, or the series might be going to map 3. They're taking up so much space. He's not going to be clearing, and Kim finds 2 huge picks. Corner finding so much value. He's going to be taken out though now, evening out the playing field. 3v3. Going to be getting that bomb down. Not going to be able to plant for B main. Trips are in. They all want to play towards this site. No ultimates on the side of SJSU. But we'll see how they play out. There is going to be full Gecko util. Oko is going to be able to find one, but immediately traded out by PPR. Now in the 2v2. Gray's scared of this push. Viper just trying to delay as much as possible.
There was a molly to deny backside.
Greg showing presence, and that bomb is ticking. They need to take this base fast, and they need to go now. Are they going to be aware how close the Viper is? It's now a single player. Greg needs to find something. It's not going to be able to find the Gecko. Wingman. And I mean, it was such a close round, but again, they're not taking their time. Kim finding so much incredible value on that rafter angle. They're just not using util, or they're trying to go way too fast to not use their util to clear those angles.
Yeah, it's like they don't flash behind it. They just put the dog out, and once they don't see anybody, they assume they can take the space. They're not giving... SJSU just isn't giving Kansas State the respect that they deserve, and it's hurting them.
Yes.
Yeah, and Kansas now has 3 ultimates on the board. That showstopper is back up now. But they want to execute towards this A side of the map, and they're already out. They're going to have this full site, but Kansas has been pretty dominant on these retakes.
Yeah, especially Astrowall and the showstopper. That's 2 very good retake ults.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out. Danny's going to be able to find Scoots, though. Huge initiator down. Astrowall is coming up. That's going to deny so much space for SJSU, though.
They'll cut off both the ramp and the mid player, or the A main players.
But Ethan
on site gets 2.
Even at the playing field, corner now in the 1v2 wants to close out this series.
Knows where both of them are.
Still
Flash over the screen.
Not going to be able to connect. Now finds one. It's going to be looking for in a second, but runs out of bullets. Oko keeping his team into this map. Such a close round. Ethan finding a huge double kill on the elbow short pressure. It just kept its entire team. But corner wanting to close out this map. So close, just runs out of bullets.
Yeah, and they're going to call a timeout here. They need to cool down a little bit off of that. The one good thing about that is that only having 1 survive on a rifle round like that, where your economy has been up and down, their eco is not great for this match point. They're going to have 1 on a Guardian, and Kansas State will be on full rifles. Yeah. So there's still an opportunity. They still have a little bit of gun advantage from K-State's side. They also... don't know if they committed the rocket in. They did commit the rocket in.
They did commit every ult onto that retake. So SJSU has the ultimate advantage, but it's really only that Omen teleport that's going to get some information value, and they maybe can find a pick with that Cypher, but it's going to be a really hard round still to find something. The economy of SJSU has just kind of plummeted while Kansas has spiraled out of control, putting them such a good position for this last round.
Yeah, it's as tight as it can be between these 2 teams.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out, though. It seems like they want to hit towards this A side of the map again. They want to do what works, but SJSU having so many players on this heaven angle, having 3 See how they respond.
Both teams stacked towards A.
And they're going so fast. They're not using that double controller comp to its full effectiveness. The ultimates are out. They're going to be able to find PPR. Heal is out. Having that number advantage. They're going to be pushing that CT heavy. They understand they don't have the gun advantage. They need to find something. Kim's going to be able to find one, but Greg is going to be able to find another. And P Money is going to be able to find 3. Now it is just Scoot in the 1v3. Wants to close out the map. It's going to be an impossible task.
Yes. With the pit there, don't really have a lot of utility to play around this. He'll jance around to try to get the CT player, and he'll spray it off of
The
his
spray through the
teammates.
smoke, closing out the round. And we're going to overtime. It's
Yep.
overtime time.
Switching sides.
9-3.
Overtime.
Both halves. Go again.
Yeah, that was a really interesting series of rounds. And Greg finding this kill here while Viper on that CT angle, finding so much value with that triple. Keeping their team into this match, honestly. See how things play out now.
Start overtime. We'll have Kansas State. It's swapped over back to this attack side. And this was the side that we've seen both teams dominate on, is the CT side. So it should be some advantage here for SJSU to start this out.
Although SJSU has no members towards this A side of the map, and it seems like they want to do A flood. All 5 members towards A. They're
Yeah,
moving
super fast in. Smokes deep towards heaven. Try to get that CT angle isolated.
They're calling so much rotates. The execute is being delayed. They want to maybe try to make a second guess, but the execute is out. And because they've delayed so much, so many members of SJSU are already over here. That nade is going to be trying to stop, but that wingman's going to get that bomb down. It's going to be spotting corner here. Ethan finds Scoots onto the site, and the sprays out. Corner's going to be able to find 2 now in the 2v2. Kim finds 1. It's just alone.
Just
Ethan.
One
It's
enemy.
Nade
gonna be
and clear the
one.
corner. Rockets out. Taps the bomb.
It's going to be get into the half.
Pulls him off. The rocket expires. Rocket expires. Still vulnerable. He has the halve of the bomb. He just taps it.
Just delaying. Kim has to win this for her team. And she does. Finds a triple. Keeping her team hopes alive into this match.
Just knows
Switching sides.
exactly
Match
what
point.
how little you can peek there with how many shots Ethan's been hitting. With the bomb already halved, you can't afford to give him a bad gunfight. So you just gotta make Ethan uncertain.
Yeah, Ethan just took that space on site so fast, but it did not matter. This heaven angle just so hard to play against into this 1v1.
And that ramp fight through the Cypher cage just is exactly what we've seen out of SJSU this whole time. They did not clear that corner. Corner Ginger gets so much,
Ethan
so much
finding
value.
1. It's gonna have a sliver of health. Gonna be healed up by that sky. And still 2 members off the side of Kansas, still towards this A side. Are they gonna be aware of Greg here though? Scoot's gonna be spotting Greg on the timing. Evens out the playing field. That's a huge member of SJSU to go down. Greg has found so much value onto this second half of this match. And Scoot's finding another. They're gonna be finding PPR on site, but
He takes one with him, and that's a 2v3 in favor of Kansas State.
It's gonna be really hard position. Only 1 flash left.
Just planted in, all the way tucked in this back corner. That is a difficult spot to retake into.
The aftershock coming out, clearing that hell angle. Shot as well.
Flash doesn't hit.
Oko's gonna be able to find Kim, and they do not clear the hell angle. Ethan here with the showstopper. It's gonna be peeking, and it's gonna be able to find the kill. 4K for Ethan. Such a close overtime.
Switching sides.
One
Overtime.
player on each team has tried to close out and is able to keep their team into this half. And wow, Scoots getting a triple kill, but not enough for his team. I wonder why Scoots didn't ult there. He could have just ulted the raised screens and forced onto site. Freeze would have been in such a terrible position to play.
Not sure he realized he had it.
The time as well, but we'll see. Going to the second overtime now.
Ethan will play this glass cannon op.
He wants to find this value. He understands that he can. But Kansas is kind of going back to what they were used to, playing towards this mid side of the map, getting that mid value. Viper just denying this push, delaying time. And it seems like they want to go back towards this ace of the map. Okay, for them, Ethan is off this angle. It's going to be picking up on screens. Wants to go back up towards heaven. Understands that there's two people on site. There's... Oh, maybe. Ethan rotating off.
They slowed it down enough that there hasn't been any presence shown. They have to just take an info peek or take a gamble back towards a different site.
The rotates are out, but the execute is as well. And the trip is going to be able to take down Zaya. Now in the 1v3 on site, Kim is going to be able to find two, though. This op is now going to be so hard to push in with. Astrowall as well. She can throw it up. And that's exactly what she's going to do.
Rolls off heaven. And this aftershock will slow them down even more.
Danny needs to come faster from this heaven angle. These two screen players are trying to come out, but that op is going to be so hard to push out with. It's going to be able to find one. PPR is going to be finding another. Now, the round is closed out. Kansas playing that execute kind of perfectly.
Switching sides.
Yeah, they know exactly how to set up their post plant there with the, especially once they had the Astro Wall, that just gives them so much space to work with because they know they can't be heaven, or they can't immediately peek heaven. So that just gives them so much room to work with to only take that screens fight and set it up. And with the op on SJSU, that's just a very hard commit for Ethan to peek out, especially if Kansas State is not giving them fights, which they just haven't been.
It seems like they want to flood on this A side of the map, but Kansas is not allowing it. They want to contest this space. They don't want to just give them A.
Yeah, Molly plus the raised nade, they can slow down a lot here.
Taking up this space, all 5 members. Dogs is going to be coming out, trying to get some info. Naze, it's going to be denying. Zay is going to be taking down Ethan. The members of SJSU are starting to rotate, and it's kind of working perfectly for the side of Kansas.
Yeah, they saw 3 there. They see the raise and the gecko off the dog, and they heard a breach flash, so that they know that there's 3 towards this A side. It gives them some space to work with towards mid and B, so they're immediately going to rotate out and try to take that space.
We'll see how things play out, though. So silent, trying to push up through this.
They want to commit back into A.
No one's watching vents, though. They may be able to get the timing. So many members. SJSU up.
30 seconds
The
left.
flash is going to be coming out.
Towards
Not going to
ramp.
spot anyone.
There's nobody towards ramp, so flash hits nothing.
And Scoots keeping
Spike down.
Zaya
A.
alive. 2 members left.
Nades off the bomb. Just these 2 ramp players
Zaya
here.
going down. It's going to be able to find Kim as well. Now on the 2v2. Only 15 seconds. They have to go on the site. But are they going to be clearing out PPR? No, they aren't.
10 seconds
8 seconds left. Now on the 1v1.
TP's
Danny B.
across. Can put the bomb down in his smoke.
The spam is coming out. So low health. And Corner closes out the map. Keeping us into this series and bringing us to map 3. Such a close round. And such a close overtime.
That whole...
Defenders win.
Back to my workshop.
I don't want to say it was on a knife's edge because it was 2 very dominant halves from both teams. The CT halves were just extremely strong, but then once we got into overtime, felt like both these teams had sort of figured out each other's tendencies. It was back and forth, just off of individual performances. Whoever was showing up for that round would get the win.
Yeah, exactly. And if we look at this last round, just the value they found from playing kind of slow. They contested at A, and it was so close here. But PPR playing this closed off angle, no one cleared him, and it allowed him to kind of keep his team in and win this match.
Yeah.
And the spam is out. You can't plant for heaven there. I think the time was just too much pressure. But honestly, that was a great map, especially with seeing how both teams played their comps with the double initiator versus double controller. it seems like SJSU didn't really know how to
They
effectively
were
use
playing
that.
to the strength of their comp,
Yeah.
whereas as Kansas State knew what the win condition was with their comp, how to
Exactly.
use their util around very well, and they were doing it.
It was interesting. SJSU kind of chose to adopt a faster play style, but I feel like with that double controller, you have to play the map because that's the whole point of having the double controller is denying that util, denying the information, and forcing out so much space to be taken by the players, allowing a much easier site take.
Yeah.
But Kansas kind of read that perfectly, and it allowed them to have much more of a dominant second half of this map, honestly.
Absolutely. So we will take a brief break here, and we'll be back with map 3 in just a moment.
And we are back for map 3. This is very interesting. It seems like Kansas wants to bring a brimstone to Icebox. Huh.
It's
Never really seen that.
It's an older strat, but it'll work. It's fallen out of favor to run the solo brimstone, but we saw it back when the map was newer, that you would see like brim sage kind of combos. But I haven't seen a brim on Icebox in a good long while.
I just feel like the Viper just gets so much more value, especially with that plant denial. You have that orb for mid, which allows you so much space to work with. We'll see if they actually lock it in, but on the side of SJSU, they're going for more of a double duelist aggressive comp with picking up that Reyna potentially, which would also be a little out of meta. So we'll see. The main thing for Icebox is plant denial, plant denial, plant denial. And that's what kind of Kansas's team comp overall has a lot of. With that Kale, you have his Molly, you have KJ Molly, you have Brim Molly, you have Gecko Molly. It's all that util together. That's how you win on this map. You're denying that plant and you're delayed. Just delay. And that's how you see a lot of pro teams such as Sentinels or NRG. They play very heavy on retake or denying that time.
Yeah, you really have to with this map. There's so many like good safe plant spots, so it's very hard to push a plant back if you let it happen at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So they did dodge. Yeah, somebody dodged.
Did they lock Brimstone on accident?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, so we're having a brief rehost. There's a slight tech issue. We'll be back in just a moment once we get the lobby reset.
I think we're still muted.
What do you think of Icebox as a map 3? Just in general.
Honestly, controversially, most people dislike Icebox just because, especially on the mid side of the map and the A site, they reworked the map, kind of reworked, but it's still kind of very, very a fun map to play. The overall composition and playstyle is very linear. There's not a lot of mix-ups with it, especially with that mid side of the map. And we are seeing a restart just because, kind of like I was saying with that Brimstone, not pretty traditional. Yep, and she's gonna pick up that Viper.
Switch to Viper.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a significant amount more sense.
That makes a lot more sense, just because playing Brimstone is kind of really hard. I could maybe see an Omen, but like even in the rare cases that you see an Omen, it's still really hard to get a lot of value. Just because of how the map is oriented and the boxy style of it, you just don't get a lot of value with those circle level smokes.
Like I said, it used to be more common, but with the rise of Viper in the meta, it doesn't make sense to bring the solo Brim anymore. You could maybe do a duo Brim, but the Viper is the pick on any map.
Yeah, and we'll see going into this first half. KSU picking up the double initiator again, which honestly gives them a lot more util on this attack side, which they are going to be starting on. And SJSU doing this double duel is kind of a little interesting, but they have to get a lot of value. Their main goal most likely is going to be getting that op and getting that op as fast as possible onto this defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this does lean into what we saw out of SJSU on Split, was they wanted to take quick fights. They wanted to be constantly pushing aggressively. So switching to Arena, which is the character for being aggressive, that makes perfect sense from them. This is the style that they were playing, so it makes more sense for them to switch to a style or a composition that works for that style.
Yeah, I totally agree. Going out into this first execute, though, they're kind of playing a little slow, testing the waters a little bit. And they're going to be going over to this B side of the map, and it is just one player, Ethan, here onto this B side, trying to hold this B main. Slow creep. He will be able to find a kill here if they keep going slow, though. They have to peek this aggressively. Be aware. I don't think they are. He's not going to be able to find the connection, though.
Dash up. He can get out of here pretty easily. He will just dip back to site. And that'll trigger them to... Seeing them to jet that far forward does signal to K-State that there is this opportunity for them to get back towards A.
Yeah,
and they'll immediately jump on it.
And Ethan called, he jump peeked that B main, and they understand that this is an A execute. They were bamboozled, and the execute is out. That bomb is going down. They're going to be trying to spam through that nest most likely. Oh, no, never mind. They're going to let that bomb go down.
Yeah, I think with the wingman planting, you don't understand that it'd be planted high because you usually would plant low with the wingman. So they got it up in nest.
Danny B is going to be able to find Zaya. Both Jets down out of this map. Low health, both on that KO and Viper. Just trying to find something. Greg is going to be able to find one kill. This bomb is going to be getting half. And they're just going to be sticking. Sova, so low health, but is going to be able to get the bomb. And KJ finding 2 kills, but PPR is going to be finding 3. And honestly, that Viper wall, you have to play a little bit more up, especially on the side of K-State. If you're not going to use your util to deny that plant.
Yeah, you have mollies to, if you're not going to throw mollies to clear it out, you need to be fighting through the wall.
Exactly. I think they were caught out by the KJ pushing up so aggressively and taking down both that KO and Viper on the side of Kansas. This is the first pistol round, I think, SJSU has won this series. So we'll see how they use that.
Got this Jet posted with an Outlaw very aggressively on this opening angle. It's just going to dip back. Doesn't see anything immediately towards A.
Going under that tube. Viper is going to be hearing that Jet dash up. Pony is going to be finding one, and Greg takes down another. Now, Kim maybe has the timing on this is Silva, but Silva is completely aware. Oko watching for that push. And they're just playing their time. They understand they have the gun advantage, and Danny B is going to be taken down off that kitchen angle. And a little bit of a whiffing from Greg. Taking down that Reyna now in the 4v2. Maybe wants to take one more player with him, but there's so much pressure here. They almost could potentially run A, but KD's immediately rotating over, understanding that potential. Going to be tagging, and the members of KSU go down.
Easy eco cleanup. They lose the one fight from the Rainer of Greg J, but it's not a big loss for them.
Yeah, they're playing the anti-eco well, and we'll see how things go out this next round with this Outlaw. We've seen a lot of teams in the Pacific region recently picking up that Outlaw a lot more onto this defense, especially on a map like Icebox. We'll see how it really plays out, but teams like DRX have really showed the potential. And it seems like SJSU wants to kind of use that momentum off of it. But going for A execute, they're going to have that rifle advantage. They understand they can play that range.
2 people tagged off the Sova Dart does indicate that there's significant presence here towards A. Very high flash. It's interesting. It doesn't quite get anything on sight. Nobody's looking up at that area. Quick shot from Oko towards the belt player.
And look how much space Ethan is getting.
Yeah, he's just been allowed to walk out, be main.
It's going to spot Kim, and they understand this is going to be an A execute. All members of SJSU are rotating over. Oko's going to be able to trade out Pony. Kim taking down Ethan, and this is going to be calling out rotates. Oh, never mind. They're members of Kids are just saying Greg is going to be able to find 2 on the 1v2. They understand they have this other side of the map, but they're staying. They want to find Greg here. And Greg is playing so patiently. He understands he has time. He can play this retake on bomb. Kim trying to walk up. Are they aware of Greg on this angle? And yes, they are. They're going to be spotting them, but not going to be able to connect the shot. Greg going down to Kim. Now, almost a scary round to lose. Greg finding a double kill and denying a lot of value out of Kansas. Bringing them only to 2 people. So, I mean, a lot less money and rifles on the side of Kansas for this next upcoming round.
Yeah, that site fight got very, very scrappy. Both sides trading back and forth. The double out of Greg was massive to just slow it down, force them to think a little bit here as the 2 players split up.
Interesting choice out of Kansas not to just full rotate over to B and just play post plan, but kind of worked out for them. Now Viper, Danny B soloing onto the site. He has his 1 away. He understands he can play time if he hears presence, and so many members of Kansas are pushing up. That Gecko is going to be coming out, but immediately broken, and that Viper is now in danger. That Jet is so close. Zaya trying to add so much pressure. But Ethan already having that op and showing the power that it has, taking down 1.
Just Still's 3 players stacked up here on the B side.
Greg getting the time and through A main finds Kim, and Scoot's going to be going down as well. Ethan getting even more value. That ult is going to be coming out from Gecko. Trying to deny anything, but it's immediately broken.
One enemy remaining.
Corner now in the 1v4. Maybe he wants to take one more person down with him. And Ethan
snaps down. Beautiful shot.
And this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. Getting that op on Jet, it's just going to add so much pressure onto this defense and make it so much easier to hold. That op on a map like Icebox is just so much value with the long-range fights that is the nature of this map.
Yeah, all of the angles on this map are super long. It's a great op map.
We see it's like a similar nature to Breeze, and wow, this just instantaneously just flicking down, completely ready for that peak. Love to see it. We'll see. They play into this next round, choosing to have a heavy stack towards B main again. Odd enough, they're having this Jet really play towards tube with this op, rather than onto this B angle. Viper able to still deny. Trying to listen for info. Slowly, KSU's going to be creeping up. And Ethan is going to be taking out PPR. Picks out that Gecko.
Spots the second player of Zaya, and Zaya will just duck away. They'll rotate back into an A take.
Oh, Silverdrone's not going to be able to spot anyone. And the slow rotates are out, but it seems like SJSU is kind of aware. It's sending that Sova off that mid angle, going to play A. Dart not spotting anyone, though.
KSU has successfully read that the A side here is the weak side. They do get the third rotate across from Ethan, and Greg J gets the first pick. Opening up, Oko gets a second.
Corner's going to be able to find one, and now Oko looking for a third. Is not going to be able to connect his shots. And Ethan saving that rifle in Oko's hand, closing out the round. And that's the power Reyna really has, is she, just like Jet, can just get out in an instant after getting that kill. That dismiss just adds so much value in terms of when you're playing such an aggressive play style, walking up, you see this Reyna, she's confident she doesn't have to use her util, and she can just get out. She doesn't have to play, and then Oko immediately up to refrag and play off of that angle. See how things play out into the next round. Playing heavy towards A, and it's kind of really not a great position for them to play into. This op having such a huge line of sight. It's going to be able to find corner. Greg finding Zaya as well.
Ethan wants more. He's going hunting.
And he finds PPR.
Push out, spot PPR. He still wants more.
And the duelists are just ripping to shreds this team. Oko closing out the round in a flawless by SJSU. Most likely, we're going to be seeing a timeout here in the next round or two. This is kind of a bloodbath on the side of... Yeah, here it is. Yeah, that was just kind of heartbreaking to try to watch. We'll see how things play out. Now KJ has that ultimate up on the side of KSU. They have that Kent ultimate as well. Both ultimates having so much value, but this duelist composition is just playing A and playing it right. They understand they have to take that space. They have to bring the fight to them with that comp.
Yeah, the thing with Kansas State's comp is they do have double initiator. They have the Gecko blind. They have the KO flashes. I feel like they just need to be less hesitant about committing those on common op angles, because they know that SJSU has been willing to peek these very long early angles. So just being prepared to flash Ethan off of those angles so that you can take space and just play slow and play faster the other way, because that op wants you to play slow. They want you to play into the op. So just trying to flood over that, get some space, get around the op so that they can't get as much value from these angles.
Yeah, I completely agree. They need to use their double initiator, and they need to use it faster, especially on the angles are kind of shift walk peeking around. They have to be able to use their util. But we'll see how things play out, especially with two very powerful ultimates. They're probably going to be saving it for once they have rifles onto an eco round once again. Ethan just denying this mid space. Will KJ hear that from Orange? I don't think she will. And no one is playing towards SB mid. They do have that molly for play denial. And Craig, so aggressive, is going to be able to find Kim. Even pushing farther. Spots one more player, and they're calling the B hit. They understand that all the players are here, and the execute is out, but it is not worth anything. And all members are immediately sprayed and ulted down.
Yeah, the collapse from SJSU, they just have this 2 players push out A main, and when they don't see anything, they know that they K-State is just has to be executing B, and then that gives them an opportunity to set up that cross map Sova ult.
And Greg just so aggressive. He understands that he's a duelist with such an easy out that he can take this space, and it is punishing KSU so hard. Now onto a rifle round though. We'll see how they use their ultimates. Playing back, they understand that the duelists have been playing extremely aggressive on the side of SJSU. They just want to wait out, maybe find someone. And SJSU kind of playing perfectly into it. They're playing super passive. They understand that their movement has been picked up.
Just trying to set up a trap.
You see slowly creeping up towards this A side. Now using their util the full clear. They don't want to peek into this op dry. The rotates are out. Still having this KJ towards the middle side of the map. It seems like Kansas just wants to lay out time, maybe see how long they can wait.
Yeah, Scoots on the KO is still all the way back in spawn. They're so worried about this mid and B flank.
Yeah. Although Orko's going to be playing super aggressive, he's going to be able to take down
Spike
PPR. So yeah,
You should run.
going to be able to refrag her teammate. Reyna going down. Greg,
30 seconds left.
he's sprayed by Zaya. The op is still on this angle. It's not going to be finding anything. And he's going to be blinded, dashing into the wrong way. Huge flash from KO on the side of Kansas. And this is going to give them the sight. Now in the 2v4. Although, Piney is going to be able to find one. Narrowing down the numbers. Still little health on one member of KSU. A KO. Flashes out. No more flashes. They want to find something, but corner. Not going to allow that to happen. Danny B understands this round might be over. Going to be able to find one player, though.
Yeah, the high-low setup in Nest is enough to keep him out of it.
Yeah, Zaya just closing out the round, and that was probably the flash that won them the round from that KO. Denying that Jet to get out was so impactful, especially not allowing her to get that kill.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we need to be seeing out of them, is using these KO flashes to deny that Jet from getting anything. And unfortunately, dashing into the wall when you're full blind it's just a part of playing Jet sometimes. But they're stuck in a very small space there with the KJ ult coming out. You could only be in the corner. You had to duck out into CT. Just put him in a very bad spot. That ult commit. Quick fight.
Yeah, it's not going to find anyone yet. But they're so heavily stacked with space on the map, and they're going to be giving up. And that ult hits Greg? Wow. That's from such a high angle. Kim is going to be taking down Ethan. And this is just a domination of this A side of the map. It seems like KSU is finally finding their footing now in the 5v2.
Yeah, they've got this ult cycle starting to get established, so they can use those ults to deny all of the aggression that we've seen out of the duelists of SJSU.
Gecko Thrash back up, going to be pushing into the CT. He's going to be spotting Danny B, but he's going to be pushing through, taken down by Scoots, and Scoots securing the round. And honestly, a flawless and a dominant round by KSU. They seemed like they understood. They have their such impactful ultimates with that kill and that KJ. Once they use them on this A side of the map, it's kind of free reign. This Jet can't dash out, and this Rain they can't use her dismissed, so they have to play so passive.
Yeah, they're forcing them to play slower than SJSU wants. Because SJSU wants these early fights, and K-State has managed to back them up, not give them the early fights, and then push them once they've taken that fast space, and pushed them back. they can use these ults to deny the duelists.
We'll see how things go this next round, though. Immediately taking so much space again towards this A. SJSU stacking heavy. They only have this jet anchoring towards this B side of the map.
Drone will spot just the one. Doesn't quite get deep enough to see PPR.
SJSU does not want to give another round to this A flood. Mine's going to be hitting one. It's going to be able to find Oko. It's immediately such a big part of their side down, but this KJ going to be forcing them out of this site. They have nothing to break that.
Yeah, and they just have to back up.
The rotates are out. They're staying towards this. Oh, no, they're going B. We'll see if Ethan can find something with his op here, though.
It's interesting. They actually chosen to split 2 and 2. They know that they're still presence towards A, so just trying to leave a heavy lurk there.
I think they threw the knife on A and they completely faked out SJSU, and the execute is already out B. But Ethan finds such a huge pick onto Zaya now in the 4v4.
Bomb is denied by the KJ Molly. That'll slow it down and give time for the rotates to come back across. Bomb will go down and how.
Under KJs are going to be fighting, and Corner's going to be in that 1v1. Danny's going to be finding another. They understand where the players are. 2v3. SJSU wants to close out this round. Going to be popping the knives. They know they need to clear this KJ out of this angle. They know where she's playing, and Danny's going to do exactly that. Now in the 1v3. It's a miracle play. He needs to find something, but it's not going to be able to find it. The bomb has been planted too narrow, and the round is over. Such a flawless retake from SJSU and such a messy hold from the side of Kansas. They just completely crumbled under the pressure. They had that bomb down, but they just pushed individually, and maybe they found one, but with each one they found, they had 2 of them taken down.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play for putting that KJ Molly on default plant and just popping it instantly. That denied the plant, and it gave them time to rotate back across because K-State was well ahead of the rotates. They had done a trick play to signal that there was A that pulled 3 across to the A side and just the solo KJ. But, ooh, quick trades. Zaya will deny Ethan after Ethan gets his opening pick onto PPR.
Huge pick onto PPR, though. Not having that wingman is going to be very helpful. And 2 members more. 1 member Greg finds. Now it is just Corner in the 1v3. Looking to get at least 2 more rounds as half. This could be the avenue for him to do so. 1v3 has no supporting util for himself. Only that drought. Only the bot holding this flank. Corner needs to find something. And SJSU understands they can play slow. They can play that time. They don't have to play so aggressive. 50 seconds on the clock.
Has to drop down here to get the bomb. It's just the 1 player towards site. 2 people towards screens. Drop.
It's gonna be
Greg J will swing him as soon as he hears the drop.
Yeah, holding from that dice angle, Greg just scares the round.
Last round in the half.
This is looking oddly similar to Split, where it's almost at the 9-3 half once again.
Yeah, both of these teams are playing very, very scrappy. Although I will say this seems dominant in a different way from SJSU. It seems like they've earned their rounds off of this aggressive duelist play, and they have a comp that'll actually favor them once they get onto attack side.
I fully agree. I think this map is definitely attacker sided as well, especially on this A side of the map, and Kansas has just not been able to find an avenue to really get much value from that. Still holding this up on this rafter angle. Cat Flash not really hitting anything.
Yeah, I don't know where that flash pops, but it's not getting any of the common op angles.
It's also like, why throw it if you're not going to peek with it?
Yeah, for sure.
Just playing slow. They understand they have time.
They're just hoping that they can get these same aggressive rotations they've seen out of Oko and Greg J. Just getting a couple players to push into them on the A side. But SJSU hasn't been willing to give them anything.
They're gonna hear this KJ trip on to B. They're gonna be breaking with the molly. And still, SJSU is just holding their positions. They have time. Only 30 seconds left. They understand that the pressure's on Kansas. Execute seems to start. Mollies are out from Gecko, and Wingman looks like he wants to go plant.
They do clear Greg J out of the corner. Ethan behind Dice has
There's only
a power
12
play here.
seconds. 10 seconds left. They need to get that bomb down. It is just Kim. 5 seconds on the clock. Is going to be able to get it. Oh, Danny B is going to be spotted out. Kim, with 1 second on the clock, gets off the bomb and completely shuts down Danny's attempt at a retake. Wow.
That was
pure confidence in its fullest form. Wow. Now, like, this execute just back to back to back. People are getting each one pick. And look at this. Only 1 second left. Have full confidence in herself to win that.
It's beautiful from Kim. Knows Danny's going to swing. He's been swinging all game. Doesn't commit to the stick. Just swings him back.
We'll see who wins this pistol round, though. Although they're heavily stacked towards this A side of the map. Both teams. They understand that this is the easier site to take. So fast. Zayd's going to be taking this position. It's going to be tagging Ethan. Not going to be able to find the kill. Scoot's going to be able to find Greg G. It's going to give them a little bit more space to work with on this defense. So many members here. And SJSU just wants to play their time. They have a minute 16. They have time to work with.
Spot PPR out with the dot, with the drone. Just
Ethan's so close here, looking to find the kill, and he's not going to be able to find it. Gets a dink, only 21 health left on the PPR. Zayd's going to be able to find one more, but Oko trades out. And now it is just Danny B in the 1v4 stunned, and Kansas State wraps it up.
Yeah, scrappy pistol rounds back and forth, but this is more what we saw out of these two teams in previous maps of this series. That SJSU just struggles on these pistol rounds.
Yeah, definitely. See how things play out, though. Such an aggressive Viper wall on the defense. It gives them so much space to work with on this A side of the map.
And Scoots is setting up this deep knife. That's going to give him information on... so much information on A. We'll let them rotate immediately towards B.
They're taking up all this space on B. The Eco is seeming to get the space kind of for free. The KJ Mollies are trying to deny that plane a little bit.
Yeah, the shock dart doesn't break the molly or the alarm bot.
And the rotates are fully out. Almost every single member is out B now. And SJSU is kind of still committing to this, but Ethan's going to be able to find Scoots. Now, with the number advantage, SJSU going to be able to get that bomb down. SJSU trying to deny it. It's going to be able to find Oko. Getting off the bomb plant. Even out numbers, they have the better guns and more health. Along with that wingman, so much value, but Zay is going to be taking down Ethan. Numbers even dwindled. And it's almost cinematic. The amount of kills Zay is able to find 4. Just shutting down any chance of securing this round on the side of SJSU.
The quick dive, 2 shots from Snowman, and the quick dive behind the yellow box. Wrap it up.
We'll see how things play out, but Zaya just getting so aggressive and understands, I'm hitting these shots, I'm going to show them who's boss, and just taking down each member one by one.
The interesting thing we did see a Marshall buy out of Ethan, so that's going to affect their economy a little bit. But if he's trying to go, it doesn't look like he's trying to go for that fast op on the attack side here.
The defense is taking up so much space on this mid side of the map. Ethan is already on to site, and Zay is going to be looking to flank with PPR, but Ethan's going to be able to take it down to corner. Now the flank is out. They're going to be spotted by this KJ util though. Zaya just wants to find 1 or 2 picks. PPR along with her. Flashes out, and they're going to be peeking. He's going to be able to find one, looking to find another. So many members are going to be looking back here. The Mollies are out. It's going to be denying that push a little bit. Greg is going to be able to find Scoots now. Molly off. Zaya is still here alone. Kim going down to Greg G. Now, Greg J. Zaya.
Just the flank players, all of the main site players.
PPR is going to be able to find one, but not going to be able to find any more. Zaya and PPR taken down by B. Pione. Honestly, kind of a good anti-eco from anti-bonus forced by SJSU. They played that well. They understood how to work that map, and they understood that, hey, I have better guns. I can play smart. I can play back, but I also can fight back.
Yeah, Ethan getting that opener by walking through the smoke, through the Viper wall was pivotal there. Just knocking the KJ off immediately so that she can't use her util to deny the bomb plant or slow you down at all. That was big.
SJSU wants to take this space so fast towards Say. This is a very interesting Viper wall. It allows them to hold this A main space really aggressively early, but this post play is going to be really hard to hold from. We'll see how things play out. Ethan's going out. PPR is going to be able to find him. And the blind is out, and he's going to be able to find Greg J.
Bit of a long spray, but he gets him in the end.
Oko finds one more, and Danny B is going to be able to find 2, evening out the numbers, bringing it to 2v2. The rotates are still coming in. They just want to get this bomb down. The op is on the hands of Zaya. Swarms are denying. The bomb is going to be going down. Are they going to be understanding that Oko is under this angle, though? So many players. Danny B is going to be able to find a third. Now in the 1v2, only an op in hand. You'd think she tried to save, but she understands that she can win this. Going to be grabbing the Phantom. It's going to be peeking so aggressively. It's not aware, and Danny B securing the round with the 4th. Bringing it to a 10-6. And honestly, a very close site take, but allowed for such a dominant post play. PPR getting so much value by taking down both duelists, but SJSU, Danny B, is just dominant right now and just finds so much value when there seems to be none.
Yeah, he's always there for the trades.
See how things change up. They're kind of doing a more of a default setup. Understand they can work the map a little bit more. And it seems like Kansas wants to play towards this mid. They understand they have knives. They need to try to play aggressively with this eco. Maybe try to catch them off guard.
They need to create an opening here. That's probably going to be Zaya's knives. Just playing around this tiny gap in the Viper orb.
See how now Ethan's going to be able to take down Zaya. Up in hand. And PPR just trying to keep this mid angle. There's no one on A site for the side of SJSU. Gecko trying to move back over. PPR wants to deny at least some information. And all members of SJSU are going to be regrouping towards this B. They do have both KJ mollies for plant denial, but we'll see if that's enough. Slowly they are creeping up. We'll see if we see an execute here soon. The members of Kansas are just going to play so slow. They understand they can play this high-low angle, maybe catch a member or two off guard. Mollies are out there going to deny that plan.
30 seconds left.
Ethan's going to be able to find corner Ginger.
Mollies
2 members on the back.
Third set of mollies to deny the plant, but it doesn't matter. They're not getting kills.
And it's just Scoots left alone. Snowman, but takes down a near flawless round from the side of SJSU. Playing their time, playing their map. They understood that they had the better guns. They don't need to play super aggressive. They can play slow. And it worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, you could see they had just for like 10-15 seconds, they had 4 players just stationed up B main, waiting for Kansas State to try to get too aggressive, go for an info peek, and just walk into this wall of waiting SJSU players.
Exactly. We'll see how things go on to this next round again. Throwing this early knife is going to get a little info because The duelists just push so aggressively, but it does not deter them at all. Immediately peeking through that wall. You wonder.
You mentioned that they have this very aggressive Viper wall, but they're not playing at anybody behind it. They're just trusting the wall to slow SJSU down by itself, and SJSU's just stopped respecting it.
Yeah, I completely agree. They have this aggressive wall, but they don't play off the aggression. They're playing completely defensively, and it's just kind of a waste. It feels like, and SJSU is taking complete advantage of that. Already taking up so much space around the map. Oko so far up is going to be able to find Corner Ginger unaware. SJSU is so around so many places around the map. Let's see how the things go out though. Going to be finding Kim. Zaya's now going to be able to find the refrag, but Oko not going to allow any more. The Execute is out onto the B side of the map, and both members, PPR and Scoots, have to save here. They need these guns for this last match point. They can't just sacrifice them.
Yeah.
And this is looking like a very hard next round to win. Having both that Silva and that KJ and the Viper ult, so many pieces of util to deny post play and allow easy entry. There's little hope for the side of Kansas, but we'll see if they can make a miracle happen. Now hunting Danny B wants to find some more kills. It's not going to be looking up. It's going to be finding the kill PPR. They need these guns so badly, and the members of SJSU are hungry. They want more kills. Greg J. Not going to be finding anything else. And
Box him in, but just they'll call off the hunt there.
Match point.
yeah, now on to match point. And yeah, Danny B is swinging here, but not going to be able to fully clear. Kind of lazy cleared that corner.
It's no big stress for them. The buy is pretty horrendous out of KSU. Wouldn't surprise me if they just go for a fast KJ ult play here. Force them to take gunfights that are at a significant disadvantage for KSU.
And they're kind of reading KSU perfectly with this heavy beast main push. KSU is showing so much pressure towards A, but they realize no one's here. They have to rotate fast. They have to take the space. It's only KJ here with a stinger in hand. Corner Ginger left to do the impossible. Flashes are out. It's going to be delaying. Bomb is not down yet. Are they aware of where Corner Ginger could be playing now? Going to be finding him. Greg J finds 2 huge kills, and the hopes are dwindling by the second. Zay is going to be able to find Greg J. Still.
KJ ults goes out, and then the pit is immediately dropped after that. We'll use the Thrash to try to clear the Viper pit.
Not going to be able to find anyone, though. That bomb is taking KO. It's going to be going down soon, but it's going to be able to find Ethan at least. Now in the 3v3. Needs to get on that bomb. PPR has the wingman defusing, but it's going to be getting off. It's at least half. He's going to be able to find Danny B. Wall is down, and now it is Zaya in the 1v1. Needs to find a kill here. Only little time left. It's going to be tapping, but KJ securing the game and series for SJSU. Bringing it to 13-6 and 2-1 for the series.
Very, very scrappy map from SJSU. They looked like they just wanted to take fights everywhere, all of the time, both halves, and they were just winning everything.
Yeah, it just they seemed like they were trying to get their momentum at least in that first half, but it just crumbled near the end. And it just, I feel like if they had a little bit more of a defensive Viper wall on that A side of the map, maybe they had a little bit more to work with. But it's really hard when you lose that many rounds onto the defense, especially into a double duelist comp. In this last round, there was a little bit of hope, but you can't whiff shots like that. You have to find a pick there. And it's just an unfortunate scenario for them to be in.
Yeah, so that'll wrap up our semifinal series here. We'll take a bit of a break, and then we'll be back for the grand final match, which will be
Redbird University versus SJSU.